We will get back to Lanre in the course of the program. He is in Iwo right now monitoring the situation on ground. We'll get back to Lanre and the other correspondents who are spread across the 3 senatorial districts. Let me get to our Abuja studio. Mr. J.4, the guests here have talked about the political terrain, which is the reason why some of these things have been. You mentioned the issue of deployment, that is not a very good thing to deploy this amount of security personnel to one location for one election, and it might tell negatively on the general elections by the time we get there in 2019. But they have blamed it on the political terrain, amongst other things. Do you also agree? Okay, Mr. J.4, we'll get back to Mr. J.4 as well when we get back there. So let me bring that question to you, Mr. Odiri. The political terrain, as he put it, is the reason why the women, as you said, the women are not participating in the elections as they should. And the younger generation, even though they have the not too young to run law, that's the reason why they are not participating. Mr. J.4 said the deployment of security personnel is in large numbers to an election location is not a good example to set for the 2019 elections. But how do we change our political terrain? How do we open it up so that everyone can be more relaxed? And how do we open it up so that issues like vote buying don't even get mentioned again?
I think it's something of great concern to Nigerians and Nigeria itself, because it is something that impinges on the electoral value itself. And by that I mean that we have a culture of wanting to be, so to say, hounded to do what we ought to do. Were it not so, there would be no reason to deploy, did you say 40,000 policemen? And to a 30 local government area state, which means over 10,000 policemen in one local government. What is the entire strength of the Nigerian police force that this much is deployed? So when we have a general election, as we have in 2019, what will happen if we don't have this amount of policemen to monitor and micromanage every polling center? What will happen? The point I think to make is for greater political education among the people. Let them know that it is a civic responsibility that they have to perform without being prodded or without being horsewhipped, as it were. As for the issue of the political terror, I think we are just using terminologies. Look, the electoral process is too expensive. It's glaringly expensive, and so when they talk about liberalizing the political space, it is not sufficiently liberalized because, like you rightly said, how many people have those kind of money? It's only one of the political parties, I think African Democratic Congress, that split its money. So say, okay, women, if you want to participate, you pay 50% of the cost of collecting form. And if you are disadvantaged, physically disadvantaged, I think either 30 or so%. So it's only one of these political parties that have, you know, so to say, made it a little easier for people to participate. But in the absence of that, how many young men, many of whom do not even have a job, that have inclination to participate in politics, how many of them really can raise the XYZ amount of money that these political parties are charging? Okay,
just hold your thoughts there. Let's ask that question to our correspondent, Chris Elems, who is in Ile-Ife right now. Chris, how many young people are out there prepping to cast their vote?
There are a lot of them. It's about 7 here.
In some of them, they are going through the process of identifying their names and their units, after which they will be verified. But voting has actually started right there in Asabata, polling there. Then also, let me quickly add right now that in this Ife-Ijesha senatorial district, there are about
senatorial district, there are about 10 local government areas. 10 local government areas, and of course 600,000 registered voters. So it's going to be a beehive of activities. And the good thing is that right here in our polling unit, we have security. They are already on ground. We have observers. They are also on ground. And of course, things are going as smoothly as planned. NT.
Thank you very much, Chris. We'll get back to you to find out what's happening in the next 1 or 2 hours. But we also need to reach out to our other correspondents. Bosse is in Ede and Shitu is in Iriagbushi. We'll reach out to them and find out what the situation is. So far, the reports coming in from Osun State have it that things have been real calm and people are checking their names on the list to be sure they are there and then going on to get accredited and casting their votes. That's coming from our correspondent, Chris Elem. So we'll take a moment, and when we come back, we'll take that question to Mr. Ejiofor as regards opening up the terrain and deployment of security personnel. Don't go away.